Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This, of course, is another anime reaction video. Today, we are getting into some more Gintama. Should be getting into episodes 109 and 110. We've been having an interesting string of episodes lately. I was not expecting, a 5-episode series arc, the Shinsengumi Crisis arc, obviously, and then right after that, a 1-episode comedy, completely comedy, like, filler episode, and then another 2-episode series arc right after that. And the thing is unless it's not a serious set of 4 episodes, that we're not going to have, like, a string of, like, episodes that need to be watched together until 115 to 118. So that means that, we've been getting a lot more serious arcs, like, sequentially recently, because after that it's 121 to 123, 126 to 128, 129 and 130. Unless some of these are completely comedy, it seems like these series arcs are happening more frequently. I remember back earlier in the series, or at least they felt a bit more sporadic. It felt like they didn't happen as often. So it's interesting that we've been getting a lot more serious stuff lately, but for the next few Gintama videos, it'll probably be, as far as I know, comedy, because according to my episode guide, none of these upcoming videos should be super connected between episodes. I wonder if we're gonna get to a point, because Gintama started off with having a lot more comedy, with like occasional bits of like seriousness, and then now we're transitioning to a bit more even-handed comedy, and a mix of comedy and seriousness. Will we get to a point where there's like, where it's the opposite, where it's almost all serious with like only small bits of jokes? I can't imagine that happening, because Gintama, even in the most serious of situations, they usually inject some comedy every once in a while, or maybe I just laugh during like really triumphant moments because I'm super happy or something. I don't know what it is, but that might be an interesting place to take it potentially. It could also be really weird, like tonally, just like everything gets super dark and serious. Who knows? I think at that point I would like really miss the comedy. So many people, I've mentioned this in tons of previous Gintama videos, tons of people come in for the seriousness and then will sometimes drop off early on because it's mostly comedy. But man, I love the comedy. I wouldn't drop it because of it, but I would seriously miss the comedy if we went super dark for like a long stretch of time with like very little like comedy. You know what I mean? But that's completely unrelated. For now, as always, unless you're new here, there will be links down in the description below which take you to the full-length, uncut reactions, so you can go ahead and follow one of those links to the reactions, then come back to YouTube for the discussions. Without further ado, let's get started with episode 109 of Gintama. You know what? I'll see what I can do. I'll look up a little bit of it, because I'm going to be looking up Jackie Chan just so I can look at his nose. I meant Jackie Chan. I don't know. I forgot Jackie. The Chan part of his name. Jackie Chan. I guess. Let me check. Nose. Jackie Chan nose. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of big. I don't know. It just looks like a standard Asian nose to me. I have some. I have some like uncles and shit on my mom's side that have noses that are not like big, but like big, you know what I mean? I don't know, it seems kind of standard to me, so maybe in comparison to like Japanese noses or something, I don't fucking know. But Jackie Chan Gintama. Okay, that doesn't tell me what Jackie Chan thinks of. I want to know what Jackie Chan thinks of it. Yeah, he was parodying Gintama. I know that. Obama in Gintama. When the fuck does Obama show up in Gintama? Oh, that's gonna be interesting. What does Jackie Chan think of Gintama? That's an exact question in Quora. Did Jackie Chan watch episode 109 of Gintama? I don't know if Jackie Chan has watched. Oh, but if by some miracles Jackie Chan is on Quora, oh, probably wasn't. Oh, nobody knows what a. Yeah. Nobody really knows if Jackie Chan has actually watched Gintama. That's because that would be something else. If somebody like asked him, it would probably be weird to ask him now because this came out in like what 2000, I don't know, 2008 maybe, this episode. Oh, 2008, yeah. That would be, I don't know when it happened, because that would be around the start of Obama's presidency, wouldn't it? Because he was 2008, and then 12, he got reelected, right? No. Am I stupid? No. Okay, now I actually have to look it up. I literally live in America. How do I not know this? It's because I don't pay attention to politics. Oh, Obama. That's a clip from an anime. Sorry, Kanye East showed up as soon as I typed in Obama. Obama presidency. It's 2000, January 2000. Okay, because it was inaugurated in 2009, but it was the 2008 election. So he would be at some point in the future of Gintama's lifetime is when the election happened. Okay, yeah, whatever. Anyway. Anyway. This episode was it was a wild time. Just the concept alone, I'm kind of glad that Katsura is definitely stupid, but he's definitely stupid because a lot of this, I don't understand what he was trying to get out of the people he was testing. Was he just testing to see how much like stupid bullshit the candidates were willing to put up with just to join the Joishishi? Because from my understanding, literally all of it was set up. Like not all of that was fake. Like none of that was like real in a sense. You know, that being weird with the job interview type thing was. Maybe that is a maid cafe he frequents, but the test, it was fake, and it was purposefully stupid, and like I imagine every one of those people in that testing center except for like Yamazaki was plants or something. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but the other option is that Katsura's a moron. I mean, he is either way, because these are inane, and I don't know. And he somehow translated those scribbles from Yamazaki as, I am an undercover Shinsengumi member. And somehow, you know... And the fact that he's not, like, really familiar... To be fair, Yamazaki isn't, like, the most, like, noticeable Shinsengumi member, which I think, you know, is on purpose, because he's supposed to be a spy. But still... I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. But like I said, I kind of really loved that bit where Yamazaki was like creating this whole story from that tiny little picture at the end of this like set of like moon runes. Because not only is it like, well, it's kind of a stupid story because it's like, oh, my family abandoned me. Actually, I am your family. I'm your father. That's just like, I don't know, it's a weird twist. Maybe it's because it wasn't fully fleshed out, it could potentially work. I think it's kind of like a stupid twist, but in order to get to there from that, it's a sign of overactive imagination. And it's weird that like throughout this entire thing that is what Yamazaki and Katsura have in common. You know, they're not very similar people, but the one thing they have in common is they have really active imaginations, because it called me way back to one of my favorite like jokes in the entire series, and that's Katsura's overthinking of the driving test to the point where he wrote like in his head like an actually decent like novel about like, holy shit, it just hit me. It fits in with like the themes of Gintama in general too, of like of a family that isn't bound by blood but is like, they still have that really strong bond because it was a father and then his daughter-in-law who was sticking around to take care of him in his old age despite not being bound by blood and despite her husband, the father's son, being dead. They got me in the end because they had what did they have? They had, it turned out to be that they're not actually humans, they're like, I don't know, cockroaches or something, I forget. But because of course Gintama has to do that, but still, it was a really compelling story that he just made up on the fly, which is insane. But the main takeaway I got from this entire episode is that I really really, really need to watch some Jackie Chan movies. Because they keep referencing them. Jackie Chan is a prominent character in this episode, which is, by the way, I kind of want to look that up. Just go on. I'm curious to see who, like, it won't be anyone I noticed. What the fuck? Who's what? No. Is he not? Is he not registered on my anime list as a character in Gintama? He showed up in an episode. More characters. Oh, I know, Dragon Leader, that's right. Dragon Taicho. Yeah, there he is. Oh, I just want to know. Hiroya Ishimaru. Oh, there it is. That's what I was hoping to see. I'll have to look through to see if I recognize him from other anime. But he is the Japanese dub voice for Jackie Chan. So they take Jackie Chan movies, dub it in Japanese. This is this guy, Horia Ishimaru. Fuck yeah. Because they did a similar thing, which, by the way, I'm gonna scroll through, see if I recognize him now. Looking through, no. Yeah, no, I don't recognize him for anything. But they did something similar in a different anime that I really like. Not as good as whatchamacallit, Gintama, but in How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, they have a parody of Arnold Schwarzenegger called Barnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Dogegegen. Oh boy. He shows up for a while, and he was actually voiced by Tesho Genda, who was, I believe, the Japanese dub voice actor for all of the whatchamacallit. I'm drawing a blank. Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, yeah. Yep, he's the official dub-over artist for Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he met Arnold Schwarzenegger several times, and he's the parody. He's the voice of Barnold Schwarzenegger, a parody of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love when that happens. It's so good. Oh, this is crazy. Hold on, I'm looking at Tesho Genda's other roles. He is Optimus Prime in Transformers. He's a different character called Umibozu in City Hunter, not the same Umibozu from Gintama, but he's the Japanese voice actor of Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. Holy shit, that's insane. And Kurama from Naruto. Wow. Interesting. Alright, well, I'm gonna get started with the next episode now. Episode 110. Talk about a crazy-ass episode. So, we have Prison Break. This is the whole premise of this episode, is how to get out of prison. They could have done, you know what they could have done? They could have had a whole series arc surrounding that premise, is having our main characters, or even like other characters, and exploring that. It could have been a serious arc, but the fact that this was just like its own thing, and it ended up being a comedy bit, that was so funny. And I love playing up that angle of like following around from the perspective of this new guy, Suekichi, I believe. Just following him around from his perspective, trying to get fucking Katsura to just like go to sleep already, so I can escape. And Katsura, and you know what? It works so perfectly. That twist at the end works so perfectly, because I myself was, especially because of the last episode, and you know, obviously previous things we've seen of Katsura being a stupid idiot. We are to presume that Katsura is just an idiot. Just goofing around in prison. As far as I know, I don't even know why he's here. I don't recall. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention and I missed it. But it was so entertaining, especially that I think what's super duper like solidified in my head that this was just goofy Katsura in prison. You know, that was this whole episode, was that story he made up about the high school sports team drama. Because, and I guess that's just a testament to how good of a writer like Sorachi himself is, because I was getting invested. I was getting invested in that. You know, it's one of those things where like the writer of a series just decides to like, you know, flex, where they introduce like a story within their story, and they somehow like interest you, like they catch your interest, you know, in some cases they get you invested. Sorachi's done that twice. Akasaka, is that their name? Akasaka. Their name is weird. Akasaka, yeah. The creator of the Kaguya-sama Love is War manga. They done that too. He did that too. I believe it's he. He did that too with his with the whole shoujo manga bit, where they were talking about the shoujo manga that they really loved. It was like something sweeter, and it was really like it caught my attention, and then I'm so mad, like, why isn't this real? Please, when you finish Kaguya-sama, make this real. And it's like, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how these writers do it, because they've already got one great series going, and again, I truly believe it's just to like flex their writing skills. That, yeah, you like this? Well, if I wanted to, I could write this, and it'd still be really good, and you'd read it because you'd like it. It's fucking insane. But then, and I think even though it is goofy, it is a bit goofy. There is a bit of a little underlying like insight to like Katsura as a person. That despite being a goofy idiot that does stupid things all the goddamn time and is constantly ridiculous, he is still the leader of the Joey Shishi for a reason. He still has that charisma about him that attracts people to him. Takasugi, Gintoki, and Katsura, they all have these things about them. They all have these weird qualities that somehow attract people to him, and you know, attract them to work for him. You know, Takasugi, it's been mentioned multiple times that it's the light that draws the moths towards them. You know, the fire inside these three men burns brighter than the fire around them, and that's what allows them to be such, like, I don't know, charismatic, and like those type of people that have managed to just get people to follow them and support them. It's insane. It's insane, despite all of like the shit they do, that they still manage to do it time after time after time again. And again, like I said, even though it's super goofy, this is a very clear-cut example of Katsura being able to do that with his fucking charisma. You know, managing to turn the whole prison around in the matter of like maybe a week at most, because he's only really been here for like a few days, from what I know. You know, maybe some more time passed in that monologue about how Katsura's changed this place and how he's gonna close the escape hole, and you know, whatever, a different hole. He whatever he was talking about, Suikichi's monologue. It's absolutely incredible. Honestly, I would say it would have been a perfectly satisfactory episode if they ended with that. But then it wouldn't be Gintama if they didn't pull some shit like that at the end. Like, by the way, it's such a good twist. It's such a Gintama move, which is why it works so well, and which is why I love it so much. See, if this was another series and they had spent more than an episode building up all of this and then they ended it like that, it would be unsatisfying. But because it's Gintama, and because even though in the long run it was only one episode long, it was still developed really well. But then it ended like it did. It was still perfectly satisfactory, and I love this episode. I love this episode. God damn. I hope we get at least one more moment where like the entire episode is interrupted, so we can just like learn more about a different story Katsura's writing in his mind for no reason. That would be beautiful. At least one more time, I'm begging you. Because those are some of like my favorite bits. Because not only is it so funny in the context of like the situation that Katsura's in, that he's like taking time to just stop and like come up with this incredibly complex story for literally no reason, but they're also usually just like good. Katsura, my man, I said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it 1,000 goddamn times. Become a novelist. Just you don't even have to write them all yourself. Just write down. You've got a lot of it figured out. Just take what you figured out, and if you can't figure out ways to expand it and make it to like a full-fledged novel that is like has the perfect amount of like fleshing out and like worded it perfectly, because if you just presented it as it is, it wouldn't really work. Just hand that off to somebody who can figure it out for you. Get a ghostwriter. You have the ideas and you have a lot of the key plot points, and like the emotional core of it, and like how you want it to be executed down pat. I'm begging you, man. You will make so much money, not only because of its high quality, but because of you're a controversial figure. That will sell the book even more, and then you can do like book signings and shit. I've been talking too goddamn long about Katsura's hypothetical novel career when I really don't. So, but that's pretty much all I had to say about this episode. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single upload in the future. Thank you so very much for watching. Peace.